What were the Ringwraiths' weaknesses? When we think about the Ringwraiths or Nazgûl, we often picture them as terrifying servants of Sauron. However, they had several weaknesses that made them less invincible than they seemed. Let's break down what those weaknesses were. First, the Ringwraiths were closely tied to Sauron's own power and the One Ring. When Sauron faced defeat or was weakened, the Nazgûl also lost their strength. They became mere shadows, unable to act openly and forced into hiding. Their effectiveness diminished the farther they traveled from Mordor, which was Sauron's stronghold. Next, fire was a notable weakness for the Nazgûl. While it could not easily kill them, fire could disrupt their forms. Burning their cloaks caused discomfort and distraction, making it one of the few physical elements that visibly affected them. Additionally, the Ringwraiths had a connection to the spiritual world. This made them vulnerable to certain types of magic and light. For instance, when Frodo used fire at Weathertop, it helped slow his transformation into a wraith after being stabbed by a Morgul blade. This indicates that fire and light could hinder their influence. Water was another significant obstacle for the Nazgûl. They were reluctant or even unable to cross bodies of water with ease. This limitation may have stemmed from the influence of Ulmo, the Vala associated with water, who opposed Sauron. This forced the Nazgûl to avoid rivers and lakes, which restricted their movements and strategies. The Witch-king of Angmar, the chief of the Nazgûl, had a unique vulnerability related to seasonal magic. His power peaked in winter, allowing him to wield ice and storms effectively. However, during the summer months, his strength waned, making him less effective. Lastly, despite their fearsome nature, the Nazgûl could be resisted by determined foes. Their terror was a weapon, but when confronted with courage and skill, they could fail to capture their prey. For example, Aragorn's defense of Frodo showcased how bravery could push back against their dark influence. In summary, the Ringwraiths' weaknesses included their dependence on Sauron's power, vulnerability to fire and light, difficulty crossing water, seasonal fluctuations in the Witch-king's strength, and their reliance on fear, which could be countered by bravery. These factors shaped their role and limitations in the struggle for Middle-earth.